All right, now flipping over to the back side, we're going to focus on number 5, 6, and 7, and we're going to set up equations. Remember, our process is to add my bases together and divide by 2. And so I might make yourself a quick note of that equation. Base plus base divided by 2 equals your midpoint or mid-segment. So I have these bases on the top and the bottom. I'm going to add them together. I'm going to have x plus 14 plus 38 divided by 2 equals my mid-segment, 5x minus 19. Just like we did on questions 3 and 4, since I have x on the top of my fraction, I'm going to start by multiplying by 2 on both sides. So I'm going to multiply by 2 to cancel my 2's and multiply by 2 over there. So it's going to maybe look something like this. X plus 14 plus 38 equals 2 times 5x minus 19. I'm going to, let me maybe make a note, multiply by 2. Multiply by 2 first, distribute if needed. So I have a 2 times 5x minus 19. I'm going to multiply 2 times 5x, which is 10x, and 2 times 19, which is 38, negative 38. And so I distributed that 2 on that right side. On the left side, I have x plus 14 plus 38. I'm going to simplify this just a little bit. I'm going to add together 14 plus 38, and I get 52. So I have x plus 52 on that side of my equation. So I have x plus 52 equals 10x minus 38. And so let's go ahead and get all our x's to the same side of the equation, all our numbers to the other side of my equation. So I'm going to subtract x from both sides here, and I'm going to get 52 equals 9x minus 38. I'm going to run out of room here. 9x minus 38. And I'm going to just solve for x. Let's add 38 to both sides. Goodness. Add 38 to both sides. Let me rewrite this over here. Yeah, hopefully you can see this better. I'm adding 38 to both sides, and I get 90 equals 9x. And so then my last step is to divide by 9, and I get x equals 10, which is great. The only thing, tricky thing about all these problems here is it's asking you not to just find x, but find one of these segments, yz. Well, yz is 5x minus 19. 5x minus 19. And since now I know x is 10, I can plug that in. I'm going to do 5 times 10 minus 19. 5 times 10 minus 19, which is 31. Lots of little steps for that. We're going to do the same process on number 6. Base plus base divided by 2. So let's set that up. 2x plus 11 plus 6x minus 1 divided by 2 equals 25. And my first step is to multiply by 2. I'm going to do 2 times 25, which is 50. And I keep the rest of the side the same. I just no longer have that fraction. I got rid of that 2 by multiplying by 2. So I have 2x plus 11 plus 6x minus 1. And I can start combining together some like terms. 2x plus 6x equals 8x. And 11 minus 1 is 10. So I have 8x plus 10 equals 50. And I'll finish that problem by doing my last 2 steps. I'll subtract 10 to both sides, and I get 8x equals 40. And when I divide by 8 on both sides, I get x equals 5. Again, x equals 5 is an awesome answer, but I need to know what kj is. So I'm going to go back and see, all right, kj is 6x minus 1. I'm going to put a 5 in that x spot. 6 times 5 minus 1. Kj is equal to 29. Last example, just because it has lots of x's in here. Base plus base would be x plus 7 plus 6x plus 5, all divided by 2, equals 8x minus 3. So when I multiply by 2, I'm going to end up distributing over here. I'm going to leave my x plus 7 plus 6x plus 5. That's all going to stay the same briefly. And I'm going to multiply 2 times 8x minus 3. I'm multiplying 2 times 8x, which is 16x, and 2 times negative 3, which is negative 6. And I'll bring everything else down. Maybe let's combine some of these together. X plus 6x gives me a total of 7x. And 7 plus 5 is 12. So I have 7x plus 12 equals 16x minus 6. This will give me just a couple steps. I want to get all of my x's to the same side. So let's maybe subtract 7x over to this side. And I get 12 equals 9x minus 6. And let's move all my numbers to the other side. Let's add 6 to both sides. Let me finish the problem up here. 12 plus 6 is 18 equals 9x. On my last step, I'll divide by 9, and I get x equals 2. Again, that's not my final answer. That's what x equals. My final answer, I want to know, what does uv equal? Well, uv, let me go to my diagram. uv is 8x minus 3. So I'm going to do 8 times 2 minus 3. 8 times 2 minus 3 would give me 13. So that is setting up an equation and solving. First rule is always to multiply by 2 first, distribute if needed. Then I got to move all of my x's to the same side, all my numbers to the other side. When I finally solve for x, I got to make sure I plug it back in to whatever they're asking me to solve for. So for 13, 14, 15, I'm going to ask you to solve for x, but then you need to plug it back in to solve for a given length.